Once upon a time in a peaceful village, there lived a sweet girl named Clara. She was 21 years old. Clara had sparkling green eyes and soft chestnut brown hair that shimmered in the sunlight. She came from a humble family that owned a small bakery in the village square. Though they didn't have much, they shared a bond filled with love and laughter. Clara loved painting, and often dreamed of traveling to distant lands to see the beauty of the world and capture it on her canvas. One day, as she was delivering bread to the market, Clara met a young man named Daniel. Daniel was tall and charming, with warm hazel eyes and a friendly demeanor. He was the son of a wealthy merchant who owned ships that traded goods far and wide. His family's mansion stood atop a hill overlooking the village. Clara and Daniel struck up a conversation, and it wasn't long before they became good friends. They often met near the old oak tree by the river, where they would talk about life and their dreams. Clara told Daniel about her passion for painting and her wish to visit the places she'd only seen in books. Daniel shared his dream of traveling the world and making a name for himself independent of his family's wealth. As days turned into weeks, their bond grew deeper. One evening, under the glow of a full moon, Daniel confessed, "Clara, I've fallen in love with you. Will you marry me?" Clara was overjoyed and replied, "Yes, Daniel, I love you too." They held each other close, dreaming of a future filled with happiness. But not everyone was happy about their love. When Daniel told his parents about his decision to marry Clara, they were furious. "Daniel, you cannot marry that girl," his mother exclaimed. "She is just a baker's daughter. She has nothing to offer you." His father added, "You must marry someone from a family of equal standing. This is not negotiable." Daniel was heartbroken but resolute. "I love Clara," he told them. "She is kind, talented, and makes me happy. That is what matters." His parents, however, refused to accept his choice. "If you marry her," his father warned, "we will disown you." Clara, too, heard about the resistance from Daniel's family. She was deeply hurt, but she didn't want to create trouble for him. "Daniel," she said with tears in her eyes, "maybe it's best if we let go of this dream. I can't bear to see you lose your family because of me." But Daniel took her hand and said, "Clara, you are my heart. I won't give up on us." Despite Daniel's efforts to persuade his parents, their disapproval remained firm. Clara's family too was concerned. Her father told her, "Clara, we love you, and we want you to be happy. But this may not be the right path." Clara cried every night, torn between her love for Daniel and the challenges that seemed impossible to overcome. Eventually, Clara made a painful decision. She met Daniel under the oak tree and said, "Daniel, you mean everything to me, but I don't want to be the reason you lose your family. I think we should say goodbye." Daniel was devastated but understood her reasoning. "I will always love you, Clara," he said. They embraced, their hearts breaking as they parted ways. Life went on. Clara continued helping her family with the bakery and spent her free time painting. The villagers admired her kind heart and talent. Daniel stayed with his family but felt a deep emptiness without Clara. One day, Clara's mother fell gravely ill. Clara did everything she could to care for her, but her condition worsened. When Daniel heard the news, he couldn't stay away. He went to Clara's house with medicine and offered his help. "I want to do whatever I can for your mother," he said. Clara was touched by his kindness. With Daniel's help, Clara's mother slowly recovered. Clara's family was grateful to Daniel, and Clara herself felt her love for him rekindle. They spent more time together, talking and laughing as they once did. But Clara still worried about Daniel's parents. "We can't go through this again," she said. Daniel reassured her. "Clara, I've thought a lot about this. My love for you hasn't changed, and I won't let anyone dictate my life. I want to be with you, no matter what. Daniel began working in the city, determined to build a life independent of his family's wealth. He sent letters to Clara, sharing stories of his progress. Clara wrote back telling him about her life in the village. Though they were apart, their love grew stronger. After 2 years, Daniel returned to the village. He had started his own business and was no longer reliant on his family. "Clara," he said, "I've made a life where we can be together. Will you marry me?" Clara hesitated. "But what about your parents?" she asked. Daniel replied, "They may not agree, but I've learned that my happiness is more important. I love you, Clara, and I'm ready to face whatever comes our way." Clara smiled through tears of joy. "Yes, Daniel, I will marry you." They had a small, beautiful wedding surrounded by Clara's family and friends. Daniel's parents did not attend, but Daniel and Clara didn't let that dampen their happiness. They moved to the city and started their life together. It wasn't always easy, but their love gave them the strength to overcome every challenge. Clara pursued her dream of painting, and Daniel's business flourished. They supported each other through thick and thin, building a life filled with love and laughter. Years later, they had children and taught them about kindness, perseverance, and the power of true love. Daniel's parents eventually softened and accepted Clara into the family, realizing how happy she made their son. Clara and Daniel grew old together, cherishing every moment of their life. They often sat by the fireplace, looking through Clara's paintings and remembering their journey. They knew their love had been worth every struggle. And so, Clara and Daniel lived happily ever after, proving that true love can conquer even the greatest obstacles. Their story became a legend in the village, inspiring generations to believe in the power of love.